Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jelen and I am your time expert. And now I'll invite you to lean back and to listen to this story. It was a sunny day. I believe it was spring and I was doing my jogging tour. And this time I took another way back home and suddenly I stood in front of the graveyard. I had to walk through it to get where I wanted to go, so I did. I took my time, wandering around, reading the engraved quotes on the graves. I passed young Jessica, who had died in her 20s, and on her tomb was a ballerina engraved. And then the massive grave of a couple. And the only thing which was written on this grave was R.I.P., rest in peace, R.I.P. It was huge. And then I walked past a woman and she was standing in front of a grave talking to her husband, which I found out later on. And he was gone too soon and she told him about the kids and what they were doing, and it broke my heart, really. That was hard. And half the way I sat down on a bench and, touched by all the losses around me, I was sitting there in the sun and I closed my eyes. And suddenly, I started to hear soft rustling all around me, like something, like noise. And I freaked out and I opened my eyes and I looked around, but I couldn't see anything. I kept the eyes open and I was still trying to figure out where this rustling came from. And then I saw them. Suddenly I saw them and they were everywhere. Lizards. Curious and sneaky and watching me as well. And I don't know why it is an unforgettable moment, but it was and it is, because maybe also just because they made me smile, because I thought they were sweet and they calmed me, maybe just because they were alive. I watched them for a while before I continued to walk across the graveyard. And I also remember the Italian guy. There were a few Italian or Swiss Italian guys and people there, but he was special because on his tomb there was a picture of him, a big picture of him, of his face. And when you looked at it, he was looking right into your eyes with the biggest smile you can imagine. And he turned very old. He died at a high age, and I am sure he made so many people smile during his lifetime. And he continued even there on the graveyard. I continued to walk, and I was just a few meters away from the grave, which would change my lunch break rituals for the rest of the time where we were living in Nyon for a long time. But first there were Nadine, Marco, Hannah, Jean-Pierre, all those people. And then suddenly I stood in front of this grave. Melinda, journalist, died at the age of 50, 55. I can't remember exactly. And also, sadly, I can't remember the exact words, but it was something written like, you took us to all those places, and now you're here, may you rest in peace. And there was this bush on this grave, and it was dying. The bush was dying. It was all dried up, and the grave really looked very, very sad. And I looked around, but this one was sad. And I started wondering, who was this woman? Melinda, the journalist. Was there anyone there from her family left? And it made me feel a bit sad to see this grave without any touch of love. And nothing. It was just like, I don't know. And that's when I thought, okay, I am going to take care of this grave. The next day, I came again, and I gave this bush some water. And of course, I found other graves which weren't treated well, so I started to take care of them as well. And from this day on, ladies and gentlemen, from this day on, I was there every single lunch break. Whenever I was at home in Nyon, I was there. Every single lunch break. I was on the graveyard. It was for over a year until we moved away. And I became friends with the lizards, and the plants became greener and greener, and sometimes I even bought a flower. And yeah, when funerals were happening, I just smoothly disappeared. And after watering the plants, I always placed myself on a bench. And I thought about our lifetime, about life and death. And, nothing new for me really. But this time it was intense. It was so intense. Yeah, it was so intense. Oh, blimey. But now, let's make a cut here, okay? Remember the first episode with the one and only question, how would you do it? How would I do it? Wild and different. That's what I thought. No, it has to be wild and different. And remember the conclusion of the second episode. That was think big. Think big. And for me, and no more flyers. No more flyers. Now the next step for me, and maybe also here now to reflect on, is the appearance. How do you want to be seen? Are you showing who you really are? For me, that was like from totally hidden, to show a little bit more about Anna and her vision of time. And that meant for us now, in this example, new homepage, new videos, go on social media. And again, the question was, would I dare to do it totally my way? Are you daring to do it totally your way? Do you actually already know what it is totally your way? It's a process, believe me, it's a process. It's lovely, it's an adventure. Now, the first time when you are showing who you are, and yeah, that's like, it's maybe even the easiest one. It's the easiest time when you do it the first time because you don't know the consequences. Because for you, it's maybe not that special, because if you are doing it authentic and if you do it, believe what you do, everything you do is very normal, isn't it? Now, I totally underestimated the consequences and also how the consequences affected me. Because again, everything I do is very normal for me, very normal. Nothing special, really. Because that is me, that is my style. And, you know, that's when it's very good to have people around you when they say, look, what you did right now or what you are saying, it's not really the norm. It's a bit different. It's good to know this because, yeah, it's just good to know. But it's my daily business. I have to, I can't see the difference because for me everything is just normal. But anyway, that's another story. So, whatever you do, for you, it's normal. And for others, it also might be good. And that's cool. But it also might, for others, be strange. Or it might be bad. And they will tell you. You will know. And from then on, when you get out there to show who you are, you might feel very naked and vulnerable. Very naked. But I think that, that is very normal, isn't it? To feel that way, and that it is nothing wrong with this. Because you are showing yourself to, I don't know how many people. Of course you feel a little bit vulnerable. That's all right. And that's also when you feel how important it is to have an inner circle of friends and family who will not make you feel that you are that alone. It's very important. Now, back to the appearance and to my story. Samuel created the new homepage. My God, why don't do it all by yourself, really. Take help. So many hours, so many nights. He was working on this new homepage. And then we came to the About Me page. And I said, okay, everything was totally different than before. But because remember, it was like just very normal, very what all people have. And I thought, okay, no, I have nothing to lose. So I'm really going to show now who's Anna. So the About Me page should be very different. And I wanted to have this picture where you can see here somewhere. I wanted to have this picture. Who is Anna? That's me. It's not a very beautiful picture. But it's me, you know, and I liked it. And somehow I still do. And then Samuel asked me about the video. He said the video for the front page. And he said, how would Anna do it? How would you like to transfer the message you have about time in a short video? And now, ladies and gentlemen, that's when we return to the graveyard. Because imagine, I was experiencing the graveyard every single day. And I had those thoughts about life, time, and death every single day. Every day I walked back home and I remember the feeling. I was freaking out. I was so happy to be alive. It was just the simple fact of being alive, it gave me this flash of euphoria. You can't believe it. I was like dancing home, motivated. Oh, and I still get shaken up just by thinking of it. And I mean, come on, it's great to be alive, isn't it? It's just, isn't it the best feeling? I mean, and if you are having a bad day, please just go to a graveyard and water some dried plants, because there are loads of them, and look at the tomb. You are not there yet. You're not there yet. And that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. So I looked at Samuel and I remember, and I said, I would like to make a video where I could tell the people, hey, you are not dead yet. You're still alive. So this is a reason to celebrate. Something like, congratulations, you are still alive. And then I would film this video on a graveyard. And I would dance. And I would celebrate with champagne. Yeah. Okay. One weekend, we went to Arosa. And we planned to go and film on the graveyard up there, which is up here now. It's not far away on a little mountain. And it's a very special place because it's a place where funerals and weddings are happening. So you experience tremendous sadness and pure joy up there. It's very mystical, very magical. We went there. I said hello to my grandparents lying there from my dad's side, asking them if it would be okay if I would now dance and celebrate my life here with champagne. And I imagined them saying, as long as you can do it, you should. But then this elderly lady came, and she was just a few graves next to my grandparents, and she tried to do something, but it looked as if she was having difficulties. And I went to her. I asked her if she needed some help, and she said, yes, please. She had plants with her in a bag, new plants, and she wanted to place them on the graveyard of her husband. But she couldn't because her back really ached. So she was sitting next to me on a stone, and I started to plant those plants. And we talked about life and death. And in the end, I went to look for some small stones to make a little decoration. And she asked me about my name. She said, who are you? I said, what's your name? And I said, I'm Anna Jelen. And she looked at me and she said, Anna. Oh, she said, Anna, remember, you always came to the library to get some books when you were small. And it was me handing you out the books. And that's when I remembered her as well. And I tell you, it was a great moment with this lady. It was just such a good, for sure we spent an hour. And me with those plants and, it really was a great moment. Great moment. And then she went, and we, Samuel and I, suddenly we were all alone. And we started filming. Now, I will tell you something about the filming. I was very aware where I am. And of course, I would never, ever harm a grave Never. Or a tomb. Never. And even the champagne scene, it seems as if I'm very close to the graves, but I'm not. There is not one drop falling down on a grave. Just, it's important to know, maybe. But even I'm sure they would have liked to have some champagne down there. But anyway, not one drop falling. And you know what? We still think that it's one of the best videos we have ever made. And we put it online. On the first page and on YouTube. And then the comments arrived. Many comments. But this one I remember very well. I hope you will die. Like, what? I hope you will die? Why? Why is a stranger hoping, who doesn't even know me, that I should die? Anyway, that's when I turned the comment section off, and it was also the moment where I understood, okay, this video might shake up a little bit. But then I got emails because the people couldn't comment anymore. So I got the emails from Mexico, from Africa, from Asia, and they told me, hey, Anna, don't worry. We do the same. When someone dies, we celebrate. So it wasn't that abnormal for them, and for others it is. That's sure. I respect that. Now, how did I feel? I had mixed feelings as well about this, because suddenly I thought, oh my God, am I doing something wrong here? And then I looked at it again and I thought, no, that is exactly what I want to say. That is congratulations that you are still alive. And I really hope that you are aware of this. And I hope that you celebrate this. So yes. Now, it's not finished yet. A few days later, we got another mail. You know, you have to know, with the new homepage and becoming more digital, we had just started to work with a group of young people which should help us a little bit with the SEO and online marketing. And they have even received awards. So a well-known company. Now they wrote that they have been thinking about our collaboration and they have some recommendations for us. And if we would listen to them and change the things they would like us to change, that there is still a small chance to continue working together, and otherwise just no. Okay, the recommendations, what was it? To replace the vulgar photo on the About Me page and to remove the graveyard video as soon as possible. Well, hello. Hello. Now, wait a minute. Imagine I would have done it. Imagine I would have replaced the photo with a nice looking, oh so beautiful photo, and just deleted the video. Where would I have been? I would have taken a huge step backwards, back to where I have been already and where it didn't work. So this cooperation ended rapidly. Finito. Basta. Now, do you know what happened instead? I thought like, all right, okay. It was like, come on, please. Now, let's do it simple. I sent the link to the homepage and the video to quite a few other SEO and marketing companies with just 2 phrases. 2 phrases. This is me, and that's what I do. Are you interested to work with us? That's all. Not many were. Too risky, maybe. But 2 guys were. 2 guys said, hey, we want you as a client. Marcel and Christian. And until today, years after, they are my closest partners next to Samuel working with me. And they have been supporting me from day one of the big change. They believe in me. They have been uplifting me when I had my insecurities. So thank you to the other guys who just dropped me like a hot potato. Thank you. Now let me tell you my conclusion. If you are in the beginnings of doing it your way, be aware that this will happen. You will get a lot of comments from all around you. Wow, well done. Are you really gonna do it this way? Okay. No, you can't do it like this. Or fabulous work. Or if I would be you, I would rather do it like that. But nobody is you. Nobody is you. They can't tell you how to do it. But what you can do is this. Listen. Listen carefully. And then you filter all this information. And you can feel the good ideas. You know, if someone is coming and giving you a good idea, you can feel it. And you take it. And then you ask yourself, okay, good idea. And now how could I provide this little special touch of mine? And that's when you make a difference. And that's when it becomes unique. Now, a last word on all the feedback and comments and critics you'll get. Take them and be thankful for them, because these are the people who are showing that they are there with you. And that's good, because you want to know who is with you on board. And when we talk about business, I suggest to have a small, not a big one, a small group of people where you can exchange your idea and plans. I remember I did it like with everyone in the beginning, but it was just like, it was too much. It was too much information coming back to me as well. Now, a small, tiny group, that's good. Now, I listen to every word Marcel, Christian and Samuel tell me. Every word. Because nobody knows me better in doing business than them. I don't always do what they recommend me to do. But what they say, I take it very serious. I take it very serious. And you know, when I have doubts and fears are showing up and insecurities in business, you should see how they carry me. It's unbelievable. It really is. So to do business all by yourself, it can work. But after experiencing both, the being all alone, it didn't work for me. I wished, but it didn't. Now today, after all this, I prefer to have the boys around me. Yeah. Tiny little group. That's good. My dear listeners out there, no matter in which situation you are, maybe you are just starting your own business right now, or maybe you are an employee. Always remember that you are different from all the others. You're different, and you are a unique being, and life is here that you can live this uniqueness. Be it, do it, show it. That's really a big advantage of this life, that you can show or just be what you are, this uniqueness. Now, yes, there are many people out there, they will laugh at you. You know what? Let them laugh. It's hard in the beginning, but your skin will get thicker and it's going to be easier every time. And the thing is, don't focus on the ones who are laughing at you, because there are so many others. You can't believe it. There are so many others who are so happy to see that they're not alone. They think like, oh, there is another one, and she or he is not really the norm. So, okay, I'm not alone out here. It's, just for them. Let's do it also for the others who feel a little bit different or who think different. So, yeah. Focus on them. Do it for them also. Now, for the next episode, my dear ones, maybe the last one for the business series, I will tell you what worked for me the most and how I handle the struggle of entrepreneurship. Because they are there, the struggles. It's normal. It's just so normal, and it's good. It's good. You will learn a lot from them. And I will give you some tools which will also help others in ordinary daily life. It's a lot about attitude and the vision of time. So it's going to be very, very, I think, very interesting. And yes, of course, I know. I will give you the link to the graveyard video. It's going to be, if you're on YouTube right now, it's going to be down here. And if you are listening, I will put it in the show notes. Now, I apologize to the people who think that what I did in this video is very irresponsible. That is your culture saying so, and I respect this. But my philosophy is this: we should be happy to be alive, and we should celebrate this, and that's all what I wanted to show in the video. And by the way, I played it in front of many hundreds of people now, and they applauded in the end. So it's also finding a way who wants to keep doing the journey with you. If you do something like this, which is a little bit like, the balance is they're gonna like it or not, then it's good to know you're filtering, and the ones who are still there after this, you guys out there, that's when you really appreciate and are thankful to have you, because that's when you have, it's the community is maybe not the word, but it is. It's when you start to have a community where likewise people are on board, and that's a good feeling. It really is. So thank you very much for being on board, and let's do this journey. Let's continue on this journey. And I think now, really, before I start babbling around, that's all for today. It's very late now, very late. I thought everything was done and I was on the way to go to bed. I watched the video and I wasn't happy. So here we are. Okay, that's all. Take care. Bye. Bye. I know. Bye bye. 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 I can't be just one bye now. No. Bye.
Would you stop your guns if I had you on my side? Come and seal your fate till the end of my desire.